Okay, the next kind of side dish to go with the Belizean stew is what they call stew beans. So what are stew beans?
So stew beans are black beans, and I love to use the Goya. They're so delicious.
Okay.
So we start off by using coconut oil. And it's about, I would say...
And she preheats her pans before she adds the oil.
Always. Yes, absolutely. And we throw that in there and it'll turn right into an oil. Right.
And you can kind of see it's like it's all oil. So it's just enough to coat about a tablespoon, a little less.
And then we throw in there the little chopped up onions and red bell pepper. Which now I know is a riper green bell pepper.
We had that discussion.
Oh boy, the things I'm learning today. That's awesome. All right, so then we do that. And we're just going to let this saute, not for very long, but we are going to add a little sprinkle of garlic powder.
Garlic powder. That's about a teaspoon of garlic powder.
We're going to open this one up because we're going to put a little bit of that in there.
Okay.
Again, the sazon Goya.
You use a lot of that.
Yes.
It's like I use a lot of the tomato bouillon when I'm making Mexican food.
Exactly.
So it's the same kind of thing.
Exactly. And now, mind you, the only other time that I've ever used this seasoning was when I tried to make my Mexican rice. Because I thought it might help after I messed it up.
Right.
And it didn't. So it's delicious, but not for everything.
Gotcha.
Even though it says it's for everything, right?
right.
It totally
Not
says that.
necessarily.
Right. Not for me anyway. So, so we're sauteing it, right?
Cool. It's just barely starting to get translucent. I always use the onions as a guide.
Yes.
Right, because that's the easiest one to see how it's going.
Absolutely. I would have to agree as well. So we let that a little bit. And now, just the way they are.
With the juice in it.
With the juice in it.
And you're going to use 2 cans.
2 cans because it's 3 of us eating and we want leftovers. Otherwise, we get gypped. And my husband loves the stew beans, like I said. So
now I've done the black beans with onions and then my tomato bouillon in it.
Oh, see, that sounds... Whole black beans?
Yeah.
That sounds
with
delicious.
And then I just put the onions in, not sauteing, of course, but then and then just using a tablespoon of the tomato bouillon in it, and it changes up the taste.
Oh, absolutely.
Out of just the can.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
So now I use the same can just to get, be saving, I guess. About to there with extra water.
Okay.
We're just going to throw that in
there. So that's about a 1/4 cup of water.
Then we're going to stir it up and cover it up. And we're going to let that boil for about 10 minutes.
That is in the cabinet.
Great. Is it this one?
Yep.
Awesome. Fantastic.
I got everything in
Look
this
at
RV.
You! I love your RV. It's the best ever. This is such a great kitchen.
So that's going to go for 15 minutes?
Yep.
Okay.
Exactly. 10-15 minutes.
And really on beans, you can't overdo them. If it's down low, you can't overdo them.
No. And if you start to notice that it's becoming more concentrated, add a little bit of water.
Okay.
Just because you do want that stewy.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, and then like I said, we are going to do a little packet.
Okay.
Now here's the trick with this one, right? Because you only want a half. Well, no, actually I'm making two
cans.
For 2 cans, you use a whole one.
Okay.
For 1 can, you use half.
Okay.
And it's kind of tricky when it's in a powder, so you can take it out and measure it if you want. I mean, it's not going to make it taste bad if you do the whole thing anyway.
Right.
Tastes delicious.
Cool.
Yes.
In all this, I'm standing over here and I'm getting that whiff of that stew. Oh, man.
Yeah. Good.
So
see how
so
different
that's actually
it smells?
very similar to what I do with the, using the tomato bouillon. So it's very similar. Cool.
So cool. Well, I'm intrigued to see what it's going to come
out.
out.
Now, you're going to add cilantro in that? Or what?
So we're going to add cilantro to this one and a little tiny bit to the beans.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
And we can actually do it now.
So we got about a half tablespoon.
Yep.
And it's just a hint of it, and it gives it that flavor. You don't want to be too overpowering.
No.
But with it in there cooking, it's gonna bring out that flavor of the cilantro within it.
Exactly.
Cool.
Exactly. And then for this one, we want to wait just a little bit longer before we add more cilantro to it. And now you're gonna basically, from now on, as far as the stew goes, it's all up to your taste.
Okay.
So if you want to add more water, if you want to add more garlic, if you want to add, now garlic, if you're gonna add more at this point, only powder.
Right.
Otherwise it will really shift the flavor. But if you want to add anything to it, it's completely up to taste.
Right. But I think it's tasting really good.
Great. Well, it's on the right path.
That's a good thing.
Awesome. Well, I'm excited.
This is gonna be fun.
Yeah.
So cool. So let's we'll let this go and let this go for a while, and then we'll check that back in. And about that time, it'll probably be ready to start the rice.
Yeah.
All right.
And we're almost done.
It's almost time to eat, and it's almost time for our special cocktail.
Ooh, that you guys don't even know about. I can't wait.
Cool.
It's so delicious.
All right.
Oh my goodness.
So
See you later.
cool. We'll be back.